What is going on? I am Anon Moose, also known as Zedmont in the Archipelago. So many AKAs in the Archipelago. I've got accounts floating around looking for task forces. Basically, I just drop an account in a task force, hang out for a week, see what you guys are doing, see if I can help, and then bail. So we're going to go through a lot of things today. Now, first of all, the tribes. These are epic tribes for the Mega Crab. These are going to be absolutely ridiculously strong. Scorcher damage, I have got 16 Scorchers. I have been absolutely crushing my map using Scorchers. Just drop them, forget it. Use your GBE for shocks. They are unstoppable. Now, the barrage damage is a beast. I was lucky enough, lucky enough, let's go with lucky enough, to upgrade my barrage to max. And as a result, the barrage is now doing 25,500 damage, which is absolutely silly. Critter spawned. I have not upgraded my critters yet, unfortunately, so this tribe is not going to complete full use, but I mean, look at this. We've got 4 tribes that are super duper awesome. If you have any questions about tribes, don't hesitate to hit me up. I don't use the top ones, doesn't really matter to me. Now, there's a bunch of other stuff going on. Obviously, today is Hammerman. We've got the what is that called? We've also got warships going on. I'm going to quickly go through a couple levels of Hammerman just because why the heck not. Going to move our hot pot all the way to the front. I have managed to upgrade. How can I move this to the front? We're going to put this, let's put it over here. What the heck? And then we will move something. Now, if you're wondering why my Hammerman layout is so not awesome, it's because of my trees. Trees are a huge problem when it comes to Hammerman, but I love saving the monkeys, folks. Got to save the monkeys. If you don't know what the monkeys are, have a look in the trees. You'll see that your trees start to shake, and then there'll be a monkey in there. Boom Beach has been pretty darn good about including some atmospheric stuff. We've got some fish swimming in the water down here. We've got turtles and crabs and all sorts of stuff. But there's no monkeys right now, of course. Every time I try and show off the monkey, that just sounds terrible. They get shy. So there are monkeys in the trees. If you have a favorite animal in Boom Beach or a favorite little hidden feature, whether it just be the trees switching to pines or the shark swimming by or those little conical looking seashells, do let me know. Also, be aware you can get Patrick starfish on your beach. Little Easter egg there. I am not one who watches SpongeBob SquarePants, but it's kind of neat. And once every 6 months or so, someone will post it on Reddit or Discord saying, has anyone else seen this? Yep, it's been there for years and years. It has been in my War Factory thumbnail for a bit as a bit of a sneak peek hidden off to the side. So Boom Beach Supercell does pretty darn well about including some animals and things like that, but obviously none of them are here right at the moment because Hammerman is trying to take down our base. Spoiler alert, it's not going to happen. Now, my rocket launchers should definitely be further forward so that we don't have to sit there and wait for that. But a couple stages. Obviously, the hot pot is the easy button. You could also use the tribes to get some extra mortar damage and stuff like that, but I think that's a bit of a waste of raw crystals. Raw crystals are a little bit more hard to come by right now because I'm working on upgrading some things. As you can see, my boom cannon back there. Got all my landing crafts up to level 24 without resource reward. Also got our gunboat up. Now, let's show you what it means to have max. Actually, I don't even have max level Scorchers, I don't think. But we do have max level tribal boots. So we're just going to drop all of them. Like, realistically, you shouldn't do this. You should save some gunboat energy for things like shocks, but at the same time, it's fun. I've got instant training, so we're going to lose some Scorchers here. I highly recommend only using 1 or 2 boats of Scorchers, that you end up doing far more damage as a result. But I just can't help myself. Dropping 16 Scorchers is a fantastic time, and just watching them spread out and burn things and explode is kind of interesting, and it's somewhat satisfying, mildly satisfying. I believe there's a Reddit subreddit for that. Just dropping critters, using shocks. Energy drink, not super useful because you see Bullet, he just keeps getting behind the Scorchers. He just can't keep up. So I don't typically use Bullet when dropping 16 Scorchers, but he is an option. Obviously, no hero does super duper awesome with them. Probably Kavan is the best for this sort of attack. Just dropping Scorchers, watching them blow everything up. Now, obviously, tanks are getting life leech right now, so mixing some tanks in might be an idea, or just using all tanks or tanks and bombardiers. There's lots and lots of great combos, and that tank life leech is going to be super, super op for the Mega Crab. So make sure if you have the option to get some upgrades going, think about the Mega Crab. If you can get your tanks upgraded, I've already done that, thankfully. You're going to have a great, great time during the Mega Crab. Now, in my previous video, just shifting gears yet again, I showed you how to use Seekers, and as you can see right here, I had a bit of a losing streak, fell out of Diamond, and then managed to climb back in. Huge thank you to Orion as usual. He watched my Seekers video and was like, dude, you're not doing it right. So in the video inbox way over here, I have a Seeker guide. We're going to use this video to update that guide, show you what I've been doing with Seekers, and the trick is all Seekers all the time. So basically, dropping Seekers and then just getting rid of shock launchers. That is the #1 goal. 4 on the left, 4 on the right. Now, I went a little bit slow on this on purpose, dropping some Seekers on the left so they would catch up, and then getting rid of the shock launchers on the right, and then using crystal shields to get all of my Seekers so they can get shot in the face at least once. This base far easier than most. They don't have shock blasters or doom cannons or microwavers, so just letting them run, and you have to trust in the power of the Seekers. Seekers can take a punch in the face. They're not super duper weak or anything like that, but you do have to use your gunboat energy to shock some buildings to keep them alive. So I've also got a secret weapon on my base, which helps me defend against Seekers. I'll show you that in a moment, but for now, we're just going to stick to the offense. Now, these times aren't super good. My best time is, I think, 3:30. I've been getting 325, 324, but it all depends how many defenses they have. So dropping all Seekers on the left-hand side because this person's engine rooms are all in a nice line, using critters to distract the doom cannon, and then just getting all Seekers rushing in towards the engine rooms. So I know in my other video I talked about mixing in warriors or mixing in bombardiers and stuff like that. I don't do that anymore. It's not required. Just I drop a couple Seekers in each location, get them rocking and rolling, and then use your time to get rid of shock launchers. I have a really hard time where trying to find the balance between dropping them and barraging shock launchers. So if you have any tips on that, I'd love to hear it. I try to use critters, like dropping critters somewhere in this neighborhood to distract the shock launcher, but my critters are always late, so it's this weird race where you're dropping troops, you're barraging shock launchers, you're throwing critters, you're shocking. So what I have started to do is I've started, say for example, for this one, I would barrage this shock launcher, shock this one, and then barrage this one. So if you haven't found my secret weapon against Seekers yet, shame on you, or yay to me. I'll show you exactly what I did in a moment. But for now, our last canned battle. See, not as much of a rush by coming into the left-hand side, and I think it ends up speeding up my time by coming around the horn as opposed to dropping in here. 5 engine room bases are actually more difficult than 6 engine room bases because they've hunkered down a little bit and gotten a few more defenses. So my defense against Seekers, looking at this, I obviously don't have much of a defense because I don't have shock blasters, doom cannons, microwavers, flamethrowers, but I do have this over here. I went and got shock mines. I figured if it's a Seeker versus Seeker battle, I should be able to win simply by having shock mines. So I got shock mines hidden here, just hiding them absolutely everywhere, but doing so and making sure that not one is visible. If one is visible, it gives away all of the surprise. So if you're going to rush ahead and get shock mines, just make sure you hide them. So we'll do 2 battles here. I'm not super confident right now because I'm coming in cold. my last attack was 12 hours ago, so I'm probably going to lose. So I'm not going to collect this chest until I get back into diamond tier, assuming that I get knocked down. But the fact that I had a win streak it won't help me because I'm about to lose my win streak, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now, like I said, we're going to drop our critters here. Barrage, barrage, art. Just trying our best to get those shock launchers down as fast as we possibly can. And I actually managed to do it, which never, ever happens. So lucky, lucky days for me. This progress is happening fairly quickly. We're doing fairly well. Now I just need to save all sorts of gunboat energy to shock that microwaver. And now we should, you know what? I think we're going to get a victory here. I feel fairly confident, and if we can get that win, it should get us so that our next chest will be in diamond. So let's just cross. I'm crossing my fingers. My toes are crossed by default. That's a little bit of a weird personal. I have crossed toes. Anyways, this person is trying to use all seekers, but as you see right there, my shock mines. Watch this. Boom, shock mine. Sucker. Just absolutely frustrating this player to no end, I'm sure. So Gator, I think I've actually played against Gator in the past, seeing a lot of familiar names. I had a player named Doppelganger yesterday, or like 2 times in 10 battles, I think it was. So Doppelganger took me down the first one, and then I tied the second one. And it was, so big shout out to Doppelganger for the wins against me. I know a lot of you are commenting saying, hey, thanks for the easy victory. I gotta say, and by the way, we're gonna get our chest in diamond, folks. I'm a little bit pessimistic there. I tend to do poorly when I first start out in the warships, but that player's shock launchers were in a great spot for us. So what we're going to do here is the same thing. Barrage, artillery, artillery, barrage, artillery, artillery. Now, I do like to hit that what's that thing called? Ice shields. I find that really helps because you end up getting your troops slightly more health as a result because they don't get shot in the face. Now, here's the problem. I should have saved at least one boat of our critter dudes, our seekers, to get over into that right-hand side engine room. Doing a delayed drop can drastically speed up your times. And now we're just going to have to rush all of our remaining troops over into here, hoping that we can get rid of this last engine room. Should be able to get it down, but it's incredibly frustrating when you lose like your last seeker with a tiny health bar on that last engine room. So hopefully picking up 2 wins in the diamond tier, maybe. Let's see what Robo is doing. They are also coming in with seekers, also getting slowed down by our shock mines. So those hidden shock mines definitely playing a factor. Now, I haven't decided what the heck I'm going to spend my chests on, but I had a look at the tech tree, and I have seen 0 people with shock mines. And so my thinking was shock mines against seekers are a great way to do things. And as a result, like, how many shock mines do you actually get? I think you get like something like 10 shock mines, and 10 shock mines was going to do far more for me than 1 shock blaster or 1 doom cannon or 1 microwaver. So that was my goal to start with. Now I've given up on going for 7 engine rooms. I don't think that's something that's going to be helpful for me. Now I'm going to go back and probably get either flamethrowers or a shock blaster or a microwaver. I mean, I've missed so many things, but I've got so many upgrade tokens here. So getting the what are those things called? If I went back, come on, I can't find one. If I go back and get a doom cannon, for example, I'm not going to have anything to spend my tokens on, which is kind of nice when you don't have tokens. But the fact that I've got 4.2 million means I probably should get something that I can spend some tokens on that is not a choice node. So a flamethrower, rocket launchers, something like that. My first initial thought is flamethrowers are going to be the best next step. Placing flamethrowers next to all of those hidden shock mines, it would be a great way to do it, I think. Hopefully this hasn't given away my secret, because hopefully you guys don't go start scouting for shock mines now, but do be aware that they are on the horizon. I have not seen anyone else with shock mines, because I think everyone else went and got heavy choppers instead. Having heavy choppers would be a huge boost. I might actually hold out for those at this point, because some bases having like 2 heavy choppers with 6 boats of Seekers would be far, far better and give me more takedown power against those tough 5 engine room bases. And it feels weird saying tough 5 engine room bases, but they actually have way more defenses and they're way more crammed, so it is definitely, I find I struggle more against those than against 6. So anyways, hopefully this Boom Beach video showed you something interesting, something neat, whether it be tribes or 16 max tribal boosted Scorchers. Otherwise, I shall talk to you soon. As always, thanks for coming in. Have a fantastic week. Talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.